aren't they just the cutest? Look at those cute octopus. Welcome everyone, I'm Marlies, you're watching BitKnits, and this is yet another What Did I Make Wednesday. I've got a couple of new patterns that I've worked, which I will show you, and I'll give you a little bit of an update on where I am in some of my older whips. If you've been watching this channel for a little bit, you'll know that my daughter and I have a shop on Etsy where she sells some jewelry, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, things like that, and then I sell some crochet items. One of the biggest thing that we sell are crochet scrunchies. So I had to make a bunch of those because we just sold completely out. So the first thing that I made last week was some scrunchies. I have 6 total. I made 3, I think, Wednesday night last week, 3 Thursday night. So I have 6 chunky scrunchies. They don't take very long to make, but the chunky ones do take a little bit longer than, say, like the mini scrunchies that I have, just because you're working another round, working multiple stitches into the previous row stitch. So these take a little bit longer, but they come out super cute. So I did 6 of those. And since we're talking about the Etsy shop, yesterday we ran out of my new flower garlands again. So I had to dig through my stash, find some colors that I wanted to work with, and make some more flower garlands to put back up on the shop. So yesterday I made 3 garlands, and these little flowers are so quick and easy. You can use any colors, you can use your scraps. It is a center round, just 1 round of single crochet, and then you start working the petals, and that's just a pretty basic petal pattern. If you're interested in the tutorial, that all will be down below, so check that out. But they're really quick, really easy. I have 8 flowers on each garland. I had to make the yellow petal, which is sort of like a sunflower, and then I decided to work with some new colors. I haven't worked with oranges and reds very much, so I did one with a red center and an orange petal, and then I reversed it and did the center in orange and the petals in red. So these come out really cute. They don't take very long at all, and you've got some nice cute spring and summer floral garlands. So 3 of those yesterday and last night. Over the weekend, I decided to release a belt pattern on my channel. So this is a tutorial that I just put out, I think, Saturday. And it is a very easy, simple type mesh stitch that we do. You work a row of single crochet and then you work a row creating those chain spaces. So you get a really nice look. It's a super quick, easy project. You can customize it for as short or as long as you want the belt to be. So this one is a nice size, but it's not super long. And when you put it around your waist, you have a little bit of the end of the belt kind of draping after you cinch it. And it's really a unique kind of pattern in a sense, because you can easily just tie this around your waist, or you can use one of these chain spaces and work one end, just kind of fold it over a little bit, and then wherever you need to cinch it around your waist, you would just thread it through one of those holes, and then you've got a nice little belt. So that's just a quick and easy project. I wanted to put it out. You can also use this pattern for so many other things. You get a nice chain space, and you're working 2 double crochets in between those chain spaces, so you get some sturdiness, but it's still relatively drapey as well. So this was what I worked on, I think, Friday, and then I released the pattern on Saturday. So another tutorial, another project done for this week. I also started a new project, which is a pattern that I'm writing and tweaking and working through, which hopefully I will be finished with, if not this week, maybe next week. But it's just going to be a rectangular shawl. I'm using the Lion brand Moroccan Nights. It is a fine weight, I believe. Well, it's a 3 weight, but it does feel a little bit more fine than a 3 weight as I'm working through it. This color is Jasmine. Just a nice pretty blues and teals and things. And so it's kind of, the shawl that I'm making is sort of a shell stitch type pattern, but they're going to be big shells throughout. So hopefully I will be able to show you that next week. Finally, for the finished things that I've worked on, Saturday was my day of amigurumi, and let me tell you, I was so happy with what I made and how they all turned out. The first thing that I made on Saturday was this cute little strawberry. This is a pattern that I found from Jada and Stitches, and I will link that down below. And the strawberry comes out just the cutest, and it's not very difficult at all. The hardest part is working the stem, because you kind of have to work the stem up in a random spot right in the center. So if you're not used to amigurumi and shaping and things, it is a little bit tricky. But as far as the actual strawberry goes, it was really easy to follow. And as you've noticed, maybe, I'm using acrylic yarn, not the plushy yarn. So this was my first attempt a week or 2 ago. And then here is this week's attempt. Much better. I like the shaping, how it came out on using the acrylic yarn. And then I just had some really fun little keychains here. Strung up some beads to kind of give it a little bit of extra something. And we've got a strawberry keychain. So again, super easy pattern. Highly recommend this one. Along those same lines, I made an apple. Now this apple is actually from a book that I have by Lauren Espy. I've had this book for years, and I haven't really gotten around to making anything much from it. So I decided, let's pick something fairly easy, and you can see I've got a couple strands of yarn here to mark the pages of some patterns that I might want to do. One of these happens to be that apple. The apple on the back, and you could also do it in red, but I decided to do it in green. And this is how it came out. It is super cute. I added the safety eyes and the little embroidered mouth. You're just sewing on the stem and the leaf, and the rest, the main apple, is just made in one go. Again, I added some beads and a nice green matching keychain at the top. So I've got my fruit amigurumis that I made. And then we get to my absolute favorite. This octopus pattern is perfect. I've made other versions of octopus amigurumi keychains before. I couldn't remember the exact pattern or where I got the pattern for the ones that I made like 5-6 years ago. So on Saturday I searched for a new pattern and found this one. This is a YouTube tutorial, and I think it's by Crochet. I will link all that down below, and she does a really good job of walking you through the octopus. Super easy, made in one go. You do the body, and then when you get down to the bottom, you work in the back loop only, I think, and then you close up the bottom, and then you can work the little tentacle things. So I made one in every color of the rainbow, adding those beads and the keychains at the top, and these came out so cute. I am definitely going to be making more of these. It didn't take very long, and you could probably size up or size down if you're using a bulkier weight yarn or a bigger hook. I used, I think, a 4 millimeter crochet hook, maybe a 4.5, but I really wanted nice tight stitches so the stuffing would not fall out. There wouldn't be any holes or any of that stuff. So using a smaller hook is definitely the way to go. Cute little octopus, and I made 6 of those. So I was quite busy making little tiny things that I could get done in a day, and super, super happy with all of the things that I got done. I did not have too much time to work on the star blanket that I'm working on, and this actually is another Jada and Stitches pattern. It's free on her blog, and I will link that again down below. I am using Willow Yarn's wheels, and this is Kingfisher colorway. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook with this, and this is how far I've gotten. So not super far, but like I said last week, the more you get into it, the more rounds you put in, the longer those rounds take. Here's my stitch marker, and that's where I finished last week. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more rounds in for this week. And it's turning out really nice, really liking it. And that wraps up another What Did I Make Wednesday. It was kind of a quick, short wrap up since a lot of my things were smaller, but I did make a bunch more than I thought I would get to this week. So I'm really happy about that. Hopefully I can make some more progress on the star blanket, get that shawl done, get the tutorial up for you guys, and just make a bunch of other stuff as I feel like it. As always, thanks for watching. If you're interested in checking out the Etsy shop, that is linked down below. And if you're interested in tutorials on my channel, I will also link that down below, so check that out. Thanks for stopping by and chatting today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.